Hey everybody, Save MGS here. Today I'm going to give you my predictions for UFC 170, Rousey versus McMahon. And I'm only going to break down the top couple fights on this card. I mean, the undercard's not all that good. I mean, there's some good up and coming fighters on it, but there's really nothing that interests me. So first up on the card, we have a welterweight bout between Mike Pyle. Mike Quickfan Pyle has 25 wins and 9 losses, 1 draw. And I believe he's 38 years old. And his opponent, TJ Rodenberger, is 25 years old. And he has 16 wins, 8 losses. And, yeah, both are pretty good fighters. But, in my opinion, Mike Pyle should be able to keep TJ off him. And pretty much every time TJ's been beat, he's been stopped. I mean, he's been decisioned once or twice, I believe. But in all of his other losses, he was stopped by KO punches or TKO. And, Mike Pyle, even at the advanced stage of his career, being almost 40 years old, probably out of his athletic prime, has found much success in the octagon these past 2 or 3 years. He had an epic 4-fight winning streak. And, that was cut short by Mike Brown via that, video was a 35-second knockout. But, that could have happened to anybody there. I mean, anyone who Matt Brown hits like that, they're probably going to go out. And you know what? That happened, but, yeah. I got Mike Pyle in this fight. He's going to keep TJ off him. He's going to outbox him and possibly finish him with strikes. So I have Mike Pyle via round 1 TKO. Next up, we have Rory MacDonald versus Demian Maia. And in my opinion, this is a very interesting fight. Rory MacDonald is in his early 20s. He's 24 years old. He stands 5'11" inches tall. He fights in the welterweight division. He has a record of 15-2. And, he's looked amazing during his UFC career at some points. I mean, that fight with BJ Penn, I had to look away because I thought BJ was going to get knocked out. He didn't. That's just a testament to how bad of a mother effer BJ Penn is there, man. I mean, Rory was laying it on Penn. And, he didn't go down. But, we're not here to talk about BJ Penn versus Rory MacDonald. We're here to talk about Demian Maia versus Rory. Demian Maia, he's pretty much the same size as Rory. He's 36 years old. Stands 6 foot inches tall. He has a record of 18 wins, 5 losses. And he is a jiu-jitsu artist. A jiu-jitsu master, I should say. Since that drop to 170, he's been on an absolute rampage. I mean, he destroyed Dong Yong Kim. He made what's his name? Rick Story's nose into a faucet. And, with that epic neck crank. Guys who have Fight Pass or have it on your DVR for a long time, I recommend you go back and watch that because my God, that was nasty. And, he outfits John Fitch in a manner that was more exciting than John Fitch could ever do. Which, what the hell did I just say? It happened. So, yeah, I'll leave that up to you. But, he's looked amazing since dropping to 170. He had that very competitive fight with Jake Shields. It was a grappling-heavy matchup. In my opinion, I thought Demian won. But you know what? It was a very close fight. It could have gone either way. But in this fight, Demian versus Rory, I think Demian's going to be able to take Rory down and submit him. What Rory needs to do in this fight is keep it on his feet and kickbox with Demian. But even there, it's not an easy task to do. I mean, Demian Maia has much improved kickboxing. I mean, he went 3 rounds with the current UFC middleweight champion Chris Weidman. Even though that fight was probably not the best one in history, if you guys saw it, but he was able to keep Weidman at bay at times, and yeah, Demian Maia is a very competent striker, but in my opinion, Rory MacDonald is better at this point in time. But it's still a very threatening position to Rory to be in. He needs to be careful on his feet, and he has to stay off the ground at all costs against Demian. I mean, Rory MacDonald is not Jake Shields. Plain and simple. Jake Shields is probably one of the greatest jiu-jitsu practitioners in MMA history. I mean, he could war with the best of them. You know, he could probably war with Nogueira, Verdum if they were the same size pretty easily. So, yeah. My opinion, Damian's going to win this fight via submission round 1. Next up on the card, we have Rashad Evans versus Daniel Cormier. Rashad Evans is 34 years old. He fights in the light heavyweight division. He has a record of 19 wins, 3 losses, and, you know, he's had some pretty mixed results in these past couple of years here. I mean, he's gone 2-2 in his last 4. He had a bad fight against Dan Henderson. He beat Chael Sonnen pretty convincingly, but rumor has it Chael actually had surgery just days before the fight. And, you know, if that's true or not, I don't know. Chael said it was true. But, you know, that could be Chael being Chael. And, you know what, I wouldn't be surprised if the Athletic Commission let Chael fight, because Chael probably didn't even tell them. It's not like, you know, they're very competent as a government body, like most governmental bodies are, but, you know, we're not here to talk politics. But Rashad Evans, he is a great fighter. You know, he's had some weird results in the past couple years, but let's see if he can get back on track against DC. DC, he is 34 years old. He's an Olympian. He stands 5'11" inches tall. He last fought in the heavyweight division. He has a record of 13 wins, no losses. And in my opinion, I think DC should be able to control Rashad in this fight. I mean, Daniel Cormier, he's going to come down to 205 pounds. You know, he's been used to fighting much stronger, much heavier, much taller heavyweights than Rashad. And, you know, if this weight cut goes well for him, you know, I think he's going to be able to get Rashad against the cage, beat him up, dirty box him. I don't know if he's ever going to put Rashad on his back, because Rashad is also an outstanding wrestler, but I think DC is going to be able to control him in the convention, just beat him up for the 3-round duration of the fight. So, yeah, I have DC by unanimous decision here. I mean, Daniel is a very smart fighter. He's not going to take unnecessary risks. And, you know, this is mostly up to Rashad to get DC off his game plan to make this an exciting fight here. I mean, he has to be able to throw DC off his clinch-heavy game plan. If that's what he's going to do, I assume it would be. It would be the smart thing to do, in my opinion. You know, he's going to be coming in here probably the little bit bigger of the two. And, you know, DC's great in the clinch. I mean, you know, it's not the greatest thing to watch. But, yeah, he did the Frank Man, did Roy Nelson. And I believe he was doing it to Antonio Silva before, well, DC punched him in the face super, super hard. But, yeah, that happened. No, hey, if he can do that against Rashad, more the power to him. I just don't think he'll do it. But anyways, I got DC winning this fight via unanimous decision here. Okay, on the main event of the evening, we have Ronda Rousey versus Sierra McMahon. Ronda Rousey's 8-0. She's 27 years old. She fights in the bantamweight division. She's 5'6" tall, and she has 100 submission wins via armbar. I mean, she has 8 submission wins via armbar. Oh God, man, that was entering Rickson Gracie territory. 100 submission wins via armbar. Rickson armbar. Goddamn. Jesus. You see, this is what happens when I'm reading stats off Shorelog and talking at the same time. I say stupid shit like that. Okay, let's move on. By the way, Fight Finder, greatest invention of MMA. Sierra McMahon is also an Olympian. She's 33 years old. She stands 5'5" tall, and she also fights in the bantamweight division. She has 7 wins, 1 knockout, 3 submissions, and 3 decisions. And she's obviously on a 7-fight winning streak because she has no losses. And, you know, I believe she had some amateur fights as well. I'm not sure how many. But in my opinion, Ronda Rousey should be able to take this. I mean, Ronda Rousey's probably the better all-around fighter. But you cannot count a wrestler out. I mean, she might be able to get Ronda down, control her for 5 rounds, or maybe ground pound out Mark Coleman style. But in my opinion, that's not likely to happen. So I got Ronda Rousey via... You know what? No. I'm not going to pick armbar. I'm gonna pick triangle choke. Ronda Rousey by triangle choke. Once I get a freaking armbar. But either way, I think Ronda Rousey's gonna win this fight via submission. Okay, everybody, have a very nice day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and comment if you agree or disagree with me. So, yeah, peace out, everyone.